The 5-paragraph essay, From a Blooming Idea to a Complete Work. Okay, first of all, the checklist. The number one thing you should do is find a topic. For the purposes of this presentation, I've chosen a topic, music. Your topic may be, you could be comparing two literary works. You could be writing a character analysis. You could just be writing an argumentative essay. It could be anything, but for the purpose of this and for explanation, I've chosen the topic music. The next thing you should do is brainstorm under your topic. As you can see, I have written instruments, drums, notes, singers, and then Michael Jackson. Make the topic more focused. You can use an example from your brainstorm if it's too broad. Music is quite broad. And for some reason I wrote Michael Jackson. I could have written other singers as well, but that just came into my head. So I've decided that I can write just on Michael Jackson to make the topic more focused. So then you need to brainstorm under your new topic. And so thinking of Michael Jackson, I've written moonwalk, pedophile, thriller, music videos, dancing, childhood star. I could have probably written a lot more, but for the purposes of this and keeping it short, that's what I've written. Thereafter, you should create subtopics from the items in your brainstorm. As you can see here, you know, some of the items in the brainstorm, well, we took the idea that he was a pedophile, and then we decided to create a subtopic called controversy. And then we took the brainstorm, I think that the music videos, and then we gave it some notes. And then we took moonwalk and childhood star and put that together and created a subtopic called the artist. So that's the 3 topics that we came up with. So the brainstorm was not necessarily the topics themselves, but we created topics from the brainstorm, and some of the topics actually came from the brainstorm, so it can be done anyway, however you're thinking. This is a very simplified version, and there's a long process, but for creating a good thesis statement. But you use your brainstorm, your subtopics, essay questions, or anything in order to create it. And I chose to write about the artist and the controversy. So the thesis statement that I came up with was, in spite of Michael Jackson's great success as an artist, controversy surrounded his life. You should know what you're going to say in each body paragraph before you create them. So take simple notes under each one. If you can't think of anything, you can go read something or whatever you have to do to come up with it. If you're writing a literary essay, you go and you get quotes, you get evidence. You can easily place your notes in your mind map. In this particular mind map, which is digital, you can see that I have linked some things. It's from a program on Frontier called Criaza, and you can actually link your notes if you want to. Another way to do it is you can find a 5-paragraph essay worksheet if you want. And you can organize by writing your thesis statement at the top and having your notes here, and then organizing by actually writing, for example, body paragraph 1 here, if you want some more tools to help you out. Okay, once you've got it all organized, it's time to write your essay, but you need to write. There's no such thing as a 1-sentence paragraph. Okay, so every single paragraph has a topic sentence, also called an introducer, because it introduces the topic. It should have statements of evidence, also called developers, because they develop the topic you have introduced and provide evidence for the point made in your topic sentence. And it also has a concluding sentence, or a terminator, and that's because it terminates the topic that was introduced so that the reader feels satisfied about moving on to the next topic. Every single paragraph has at least 3 sentences: a topic sentence, a developer, and a concluding sentence. Usually more, but at least 3. Okay. Once you've, I suggest that you create all of your body paragraphs first, but once you've created all those body paragraphs, you should know what your introduction consists of. Again, it's a paragraph. It has at least 3 sentences. A broad topic sentence. That's the topic sentence. It's very broad. So if you're writing a character analysis, then a broad topic sentence would be, for example, let's say that you're writing a character analysis of I was going to say the main character from let me say something everybody's seen. The main character of Family Guy. And what's his name? A good example, for example, let's say that you're doing a character analysis of Peter from Family Guy, and I say him because everybody usually has watched that. You know who I'm talking about. An example would be Peter from the series Family Guy exhibits an extraordinary sense of comedy. It's very broad. We don't know what you're going to say about his comedy. And you've told us where it comes from. You told us the character. That's a broad topic sentence about that. We'll see what the broad topic sentence is for the essay that we're talking about Michael Jackson soon. 2 to 3 sentences summarizing what your body paragraphs are going to be about. These are the supporting details or the developers. They're developing an introduction. What's this going to be about? And then just use as your thesis statement, use your thesis statement to be your concluding sentence. That's simple. And you're already ready because you've already planned the whole essay and possibly written the paragraphs, the body paragraphs. Okay, here's an example of what I've done. You can see the thesis statement up here because I want you to see where I put it in the introduction paragraph. So, here's my broad topic sentence. One of the most discussed pop musicians since the Beatles and Elvis Presley is Michael Jackson. See, it's very broad. And this is what it's going to be about. He has been a star since childhood. You can see that there. And reinvented the music video. You can see that there. Once he entered adulthood. Unfortunately, the talk is not only surrounded his ability as an artist. That's this one. And then, in spite of Michael Jackson's great success, controversy surrounded his life. There's an introductory paragraph. Okay, for the sake of repetition for understanding, what does a paragraph consist of? A topic sentence introducer introduces the topic. Supporting details or developers develop the topic and provides evidence for the point you made in your topic sentence. Concluding sentence, terminator, it terminates the topic so the reader feels satisfied. An example, body paragraph 1. I have darkened the topic sentence and the concluding sentence so that you can see how that works. As an artist, Michael Jackson astounded his audiences with his singing, but also with his dancing. So, this is about him being an artist. Starting as a child, Michael Jackson whisked us away with ballads and upbeat melodies. However, it was his dance routines that really got our attention. As an adult, Michael was known for his precision as a dancer and brought us the street dance we now know as the moonwalk. You can see that I just discussed all of these things. Although I'm not using, my evidence is I don't have any sources or anything. But that's for the sake of this particular example, okay, for the way a 5-paragraph essay works. What you can see is that I've introduced him, his singing, his dancing, and I've concluded it as well in a different way. You can see in body paragraph 2, it's about his music videos. My thesis statement suggests I'll talk about him as an artist first and then the controversy, so that shouldn't come yet. It's still him as an artist. Michael Jackson not only brought us new technologies techniques in dance as he did with the moonwalk, but he became a standard to live up to in his technological and artistic advances in his creation of music videos. So what I did is, you can see that I created transition from paragraph 1, which was about singing, and then in dancing you saw at the very end. So I created transition from that to what this is going to be about, which is his music videos. And then I give examples. We got our first taste of a mini horror in the movie for Michael Jackson's hit Thriller. This video marks the first time that any music artist used a professional film director to storyboard and direct the music video. It is also the first time we receive a mini story in a video. Later, Michael astonished us with the technological advances seen in the black and white video, where many faces change quickly. This had never been done before. Later, we get to see the Michael Jackson movie, which goes beyond the world of the musical and the average structure of film to create the feel of a non-stop Michael Jackson video. So there you can see that I give supporting details to show he's the first to do something like Thriller, which is a mini movie. So I tell, how did he do it? What did he do? Black and white, he used new technology with changing the faces and making them go in, and I told about that. Now I'm going to conclude it for the reader. This pop star certainly set the bar high for anyone making a music video after him. I ended it. Okay, I'm not going to go through the process of reading body paragraph 3, but I did the exact same process. I brought up the topic. At the same time as Michael Jackson was in the business of setting standards, he was making the tabloids for the negative aspects of his personal life. And then I give tons of examples that many people know about his skin color, about him being a pedophile, etc. And then I close it. Somehow, Michael Jackson's personal life overshadowed the talents he had to offer the world. So it's the same structure over and over again. So if you have trouble writing the conclusion, it's actually an upside down introduction. The topic sentence is more focused. It's not broad anymore. So here you restate the thesis statement, not in the same words, but in a more enlightened way. Here you give an enlightened version of what you've already said. So it's a lot like the introduction. And then your concluding sentence is broad instead. Okay? We'll look at that example. Okay, here I have written the introduction and the conclusion together so that you can see them. But I'm basically going to read you the conclusion. Here's the restatement of the thesis statement. Although Michael Jackson's life was filled with controversy, he prevails as one of the world's most successful artists. And that's comparable to this thesis statement. It's restated. In spite of Michael Jackson's great success, controversy surrounded his life. So you can see it's still talking about the controversy and him as an artist. But here I put an enlightened edge on it. We can see that he's a great artist. We don't have to focus on the negative. And the enlightened of what I've already said. He brought us dancing styles from the streets and fused the art of storytelling with the art of music. I didn't tell that in the introduction, but I had already told about it in the body paragraph about how great he did. And so now I can say it in a different way. In spite of what he gave us, we allowed the media to make the negative aspects of his personal life more important than his true legacy. And I had talked about that in the third paragraph. So I didn't introduce it that way, but since I've talked about it more in the third paragraph, I can be more enlightened. And then this is very broad, just like the topic sentence of the introduction. These two sides, alongside his untimely death, is what makes Michael Jackson the most discussed pop artist of contemporary times. And you can see that it's broad and still comparable to the introduction, which says, one of the most discussed pop musicians since the Beatles and Elvis Presley is Michael Jackson. So you can see that it's kind of like an upside down introduction, but more enlightened. In the end, your essay looks something like this. I gave it a title, Michael Jackson, the most discussed artist of contemporary times. And then you can see that the introduction and conclusion ends up here, even if I write them last, and that we have 3 body paragraphs in the middle. Not to confuse you, I marked the introduction, conclusion in red so you know that it's there. But this is what the whole essay looks like at the end. Good luck. I know you'll do well.